so here I am with another action figure unboxing, and this is kind of an unusual character to have as an action figure. It's Marvel's White Rabbit, not to be confused with any other characters named White Rabbit. We want to be specific that this is Marvel's White Rabbit, and as you might guess from the logo here, she is a character from Spider-Man, which I'm sure a lot of you aren't familiar with because she's kind of an obscure one. She was a villain from the 1980s. She appeared, I think mostly, maybe even exclusively in Marvel Team Up when it was written by a guy who's one of my favorite comic book writers, but I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of his name anyway. J.M. DeMatteis? I think that's how you say that. Mr. Sir, if you're watching this, and I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry. I mean, no disrespect. It's one of those things where, like, I've only really read it in a comic book as a kid, and I had to kind of sound it out. So I think it's DeMatteis, though. I think that's how you pronounce that. Anyway, he created this character, and like a lot of Spider-Man villains, she has an animal theme, but I think that's kind of like secondary to she has an Alice in Wonderland theme. If she was a DC character, I would expect her to team up with Batman's enemy, the Mad Hatter, but like I said, Spider-Man villain, so, you know. I always kind of liked her costume. I thought she had a pretty neat costume. It was kind of cute and sexy, and she's obviously, like, crazy just looking at her. Anyway, let's go ahead and open her up. I never thought I would have an action figure of this character, because, like I said, she's a pretty obscure one. But I always liked this character. And let's see. Oh, there's tape there. That's why. And as you can tell from the big red sticker on here, I got it from Ollie's. Paid about half retail price for it. So that's pretty good. I got her a while back, but I just haven't had a chance to do one of these videos for a minute. I've had other stuff going on, so. But I've got another one coming up I'm going to film today, and I will probably have it up to view the next day. And that's going to be another Marvel Legends figure. And I will leave it at that. So let's go ahead and take her out of the package. Thankfully, no rubber bands or anything like that. And there is the White Rabbit. And let's go ahead and take out her accessory. And what she comes with is this umbrella that has a little bit of gunfire at the tip. Because, like the Penguin, she keeps weapons hidden in her umbrella. Let's try to pull it up this way. It's one of those where it's kind of stabbed into the packaging. But there's the umbrella. It's pretty cool looking. You can see the little burst of, like, flame at the tip. I don't know what you call that. Like the muzzle flash. Is it removable? Nope. It seems to be, like, glued on solid. So she's going to be constantly shooting at people. It'd be nice if it were removable, and then you had the option of having her shoot at people or not. Let's see if we can get it to fit into her hand. And her hand has a really tight grip. It's kind of the same issue I had with a lot of G.I. Joe figures lately, where, like, the grip is tight, and that's good, because you want her to be able to hold on to her weapon, but at the same time, it's so tight, it's almost prohibitive getting the weapon into her hand. So, let's see here. She's got, I'm not sure what all of these would be new parts. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, this corset was recycled from, say, like, Emma Frost or the Black Queen or whatever. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have those particular figures, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were recycled. And she has these cool furry boots that, like, nowadays you would probably think she's wearing, like, Uggs or something like that. But I don't think they had Uggs back in the 80s, so she's just wearing furry boots. And then she's got, as you can see, like a long overcoat, like almost like a long frock coat. You could easily mistake this for a trench coat, but I don't think it's supposed to be because, like I said, she's supposed to be dressed like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. So it's probably supposed to be more of a frock coat or something like that, but just like a longer one. And then she's got this nice little fob watch that this is permanently glued. It's not coming off. It's on there pretty solid, and it looks good. So, because she's late for a very important date. And then she's got this bow tie, which this is a separate piece. And it is loose on here. I'm guessing if you popped her head off, you'd be able to slide that off very easily. So this would probably be a good figure to use for a lot of customs and things like that, because you had this jacket you could do some things with. You got a bow tie. If you were to clean all the paint off of her face, it looks like a nice female face on there. It looks kind of like Melissa Benoit that plays Supergirl. God, I'm just mispronouncing everybody's name on this episode. But the sculpting is really nice. Like, the corset's got, like, a lot of good detail to it. And, like, the, what do you call it? The, I don't know what you call the clasps in the front of a corset. It's got, like, a specific name to it, but I don't remember what it is. So, I just like them. I don't know the technical terms. So, and, I'm sure these legs are recycled from something else, too. These are probably just, like, the basic female legs that they put on everything. So, but I'm pretty sure that this coat, this might be a new piece, or it might be recycled from Jubilee. I don't know. Be interesting to compare, but she's packed away somewhere. I don't think it's recycled from her, just because the collar would be different. I think Jubilee's collar would be more popped, and this one kind of sits under her hair. And the hair's really nice. It's got, like, a nice flow to it. And then it looks like the bunny ears are, I think that it looks like it's a solid piece. So they're not, like, separate pieces that are pegged in here. I'm pretty sure this is all sculpted together. If you did want to use it for customs, I figure it'd be pretty easy to, relatively easy to cut them off and kind of resculpt the hair so that you don't notice that those are there. You could probably also like kind of shorten the ears up and turn them into cat ears, like if you wanted to do like Catwoman or something like that. Again, if you wanted to use her for a custom, but I'm not going to do that because I really want to just have this character. I think she looks cool. So, and you know me, I'm a sucker for Spider-Man villains. I think Spider-Man's probably got one of the best rogues galleries in comics. If he doesn't have the absolute best rogues gallery, it would be up there with Batman and The Flash. I think those are like the three best rogues galleries in comics. And she does come with a Build-A-Figure piece of a sort, which is not actually part of a figure, but it's actually an accessory to a figure, and this is Demogoblin's glider, because the Build-A-Figure in this set is Demogoblin. And it's even got like a little stand you can put it on. You can see it's got like three little balls, for lack of a better term, and a little hole at the bottom. So you can go ahead and plug it into this base, which I'm kind of struggling with right now. It's, yeah, there we go. I got it in. Wow, that is tight. I can't maneuver this at all. And the problem is, like, also, like, you see this part at the top, it's kind of, it's not very stable. The plastic itself has a lot of give to it. It's like, kind of like the kind of plastic, like, you make, like, a margarine tub out of. It's maybe, like, a little bit more, like a little bit less flexible than that, but it's still like that same type of plastic. There, I finally got it loosened up enough. So, once you put together Demogoblin, you can put him on the glider. But I don't know if I'm going to wind up putting together Demo Goblin, because looking at the figures on here, and like I said, I got this at Ollie's, so I don't know if I'll find the rest of the figures at Ollie's. Really, the only other two I would want here is Shang-Chi, which is the comic book version of Shang-Chi, the one that's like, you know, Bruce Lee, but not. And not the movie one that's was not. And you got the Vulture, which the Vulture looks awesome. I would really like to have that Vulture. So I don't know if I would wind up putting together Demo Goblin or not. He doesn't look too bad, but he's, you know, one of the 90s villains, so I'm not that passionate about him. But like I said, Spider-Man villains, I don't really mind having Spider-Man villains. I think I might like to have Superior Octopus. I think I might not mind having that one. But these other two, like, weird Spider-Man variants, I don't really care about that stuff. I think those are probably variants of Spider-Man from, like, the video game. But I don't really care about weird variant Spider-Man outfits. I like the classic red and blue Spider-Man outfit. And I like the black symbiote Spider-Man outfit. I just happen to have him handy. Like I said, I love 80s comics. So, I love my 80s Spider-Man. This is the one that came in the set with Kraven the Hunter, which is another story by J.M. DeMatteis, which was Kraven's Last Hunt. Probably my favorite Spider-Man story that wasn't written by Stan Lee. That's a really awesome story. If you haven't ever read it, you should check it out. Basically, Kraven has decided to finally end his rivalry with Spider-Man in one final conflict to prove himself Spider-Man superior. That's about all I'm going to tell you about that. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to finish Demo Goblin, but it's a pretty cool glider, and I could probably put like a regular Hobgoblin figure or Green Goblin or somebody like that on top of it if I don't finish it. So that's pretty nice. And let's see. White Rabbit, I would give at least a tacit recommendation if you're somebody that just wants to collect Spider-Man villains or you're a fan of the character. This is definitely a figure you should pick up. But I think she's probably like a little too obscure for most people. Like the casual comic fan might or might not know who she is. This if you grew up in the 80s reading Spider-Man comics, you probably know who she is, but you know, she hasn't really been that prominent in later years. Sometimes she'll have like a little bit of a cameo as like a goof or something. But like I said, I really liked the character, so I was happy to have her as an action figure, and I think, you know, most people like me that would have grown up in the 80s reading the Spider-Man comics would be really happy to have her as an action figure. And she'll look good on your shelf with the rest of your Spider-Man villains. So if you like specifically to collect Spider-Man villains, she's a good character. Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about the White Rabbit. At least the action figure version of her. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and all the fun stuff down below. Tell me what you think of the White Rabbit. Did you enjoy reading about this character in the 1980s? What do you think about J.M. DeMatteis as a writer? Am I pronouncing his name correctly? Hell, what do you think of Kraven's Last Hunt? Wasn't that an awesome story? So, yeah, comment on that below. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.